About week where we're at for the detox, and today specifically. Today is a power day. It's the 9/9 in a 9 year. So it is this is one of the big stakes in the ground of that spiritual lesson or spiritual wisdom of understanding that no matter what we go through, we never lose anything unless we give it away. And we can give it away consciously, subconsciously, or intentionally, and or unintentionally, I guess. Uh, Today's a day to pull it back, to say that you reclaim the energy from the anything that you've been through, and that it's reabsorbed back into your energy field as wisdom of an understanding that, yeah, when you go out to dinner and you eat the fried fish, you really should choose more wisely next time. So it's not about beating ourselves up and being diminished by anything. It's about recognizing whatever we've been through and saying, okay, lesson learned, I grow from that. So that's the stake in the ground today. We're in week 2 of the challenge, and it's not quite, I don't want to say it's not quite started, because we're still in September, but we're in that transition moment where we know the leap forward is really going to take place when we hit the 1st of October. And the first quarter moon is actually Monday, which will take us across. So Monday is really where we weed out and decide what really has legs. But at the moment, we are working on lots of different parts of the puzzle to bring ourselves into that sense of who we are in relation to others, because that's the part of this cycle. It's how we sit within the dynamics of our personal relationships, not so much with family, more to do with marriages, partnerships, and those types of relationships, good friends, where we sit in those. So it's how we operate within a dynamic is what we're focusing in on. And how we do that is by holding our own personal strength, our own personal sense of who we are, and not being pushed. What we're going to do today on the yoga mat is about building that stability, so we're not pushed around so much. So as I say, very powerful day to recognize. And right now, I think if I was to say one more thing, I would say that between now and the end of the month, recognizing where you get people coming back into your mind, maybe in dreams, or even just randomly thinking about somebody or something that happened to you. Every time that comes in, if you've got the time to take and say, what did I learn from that? Because often when we think of a past relationship, we don't think about the learnings. We think about maybe how it ended or whatever went down, and that makes us feel not so great. If we can turn it by saying, okay, yeah, this is what I learned from it, then we can absorb that back in. And I mean, as I say, right now it's cycling through all of the ones that we can clear. They're coming up. Somebody will remind you of something. Someone will say something, and it's like, oh yeah, and it cycles in. At that moment, it's there for clearing, and it can be, okay, yeah, that taught me this, and I am better because of that. And then you've reclaimed the energy. Now, if you can't just pull it in like that, there is another half to the story, and that is that cord cutting of not so much that we're in cord cutting territory right now. I think what we're in is the territory of sending the healing light to that other person and back into yourself. So that's that color green, sending healing light to the person, receiving, because it's both, not just sending it, but receiving the healing light. So if you can't just reclaim it easily, then receive and absorb the healing light so that you feel like that you have learnt from it and you've grown through it and that you've been healed from it. When you've healed from it, then it doesn't have an emotional hook still. It doesn't change it, it just releases the emotional hook. And that is, I really think these I mean, pretty much the last 2 or 3 days, because when we hit Scorpio moon, it all got emotional. So I think it's all been the last couple of days, and it's going to lead for the next 2 or 3 days, and then it'll be gone, and then we can all move on. So it's about letting that, and then when we do that, that's clearing stuff at a quite a high level, that higher wisdom, which means that we change our emotional body, which then turns us into changing our physical body. And that's when our physical has a chance to change. Our physical doesn't have a chance to change until we change the other bodies. So that's your answer to the question why it doesn't physically change. It won't physically change until it emotionally changes. It won't change emotionally till it mentally changes. And that's where we're at. We're at the mental stage at the moment as we close off September. Okay, cool. Come on up. Let's do some yoga.